Hello, I hope you're doing well. Today I am going to fill out a page in my Hobonichi Cousin, which I have been using for a journal for most of 2024 and a little bit so far in 2025. I have the spring version, so I have just a few more months left in my Cousin. So I normally have this issue of not really using my stationery stuff all that often. And I think part of the reason for that is like they're just not accessible. Like they're not stored in the place where I actually journal because there's no room and I have a tiny desk. So I've started just storing a few items in my little bucket here so that they're always on hand. I think this was like a hummus container or something that I just cleaned and repurposed to just hold a few journal supplies. It's not fancy, but it's small and it fits on my desk, so it works. So I started sticking post-it notes of what I consider to be important reminders in my journal this year, and then I just kind of like moved them as I turned the page in my journal. But what I currently have in here is that perfectionism is not helping me. A reminder that the dip exists, as in most things take time and don't happen or change overnight. And last I have kind of a messy doodle of a sailboat being pulled against its own anchor, which is how I was visualizing the sensation of being both impulsive and impatient, as well as a perfectionist. Like, my impulsive and impatient side is the wind in my sails. It's the part of me that really wants to move forward and quickly. And the anchor is the perfectionist side. It's the side that says, I'm not ready, it's not good enough, this won't work, etc., etc. And sometimes when those two forces are like perfectly balanced, it means I don't actually move forward at all, but I still somehow feel exhausted. Anyway, lately I've been picturing like letting go of the perfectionism and visualizing that as like cutting the anchor loose. Kind of silly, but visualizing things is sometimes easier for me to like grasp and understand them. And honestly, like this whole visualization thing is the only reason that I've been able to upload any videos at all, which is something that I struggled with for like a really long time, actually. Anyway, moving on. So I have been on a bit of a muffin kick lately. I'm still pretty new to baking, so I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's been fun. I've been testing out different muffin recipes. The one I want to make today, it has like bananas and blueberries in it. I've made this one before and it's really good. I really like this one. I also like to use oatmeal instead of like regular flour, which is nice because it has more protein and fiber, which means it's like a little bit more filling. I also like to add chia seeds and hemp seeds as well, again for more protein and fiber. But yeah, they're really good. It's like a great just grab and go breakfast or snack or whatever. Super convenient, which is nice. Yeah, they're good. So yeah, I just decided to draw a banana, some blueberries, and a muffin to indicate that baking will happen today. I do like to add more drawings and visuals to my journal when I can. Mostly because it's a lot easier to look back at previous days and see what happened. But it can also be like a lot more time consuming, and sometimes I get a little too wrapped up in making my spread look aesthetically pleasing. And I think that's actually probably a big part of the reason that I stopped journaling for a while. It just became like way too time intensive. And the more focused I got on making my page look good, the less relaxing it was. And to be honest, I'm definitely doing that a little bit here. I do enjoy looking back at those pages though. However, I think I need to adjust my expectations of like how my completed book will look, if that makes any sense. Like, there is no way that every page in here is going to look nice. Like, that's just not going to happen. I don't think I'm capable of doing that. And even if I was, like, that would take me so much time and effort. And time, did I mention time? That would take so much time. It would take me like 2+ years to fill a book, at least, maybe. I don't know. It would take a long time. That's my point. I don't know, but like there's pros and cons to filling out my journal like this, like with more drawing and stuff like that. Like I do really like the drawing practice that I get from this, from just making little doodles in my journal. Like that's been really fun, and has actually gotten me to regularly practice drawing, which is something that I was trying to do for a long time. So that's nice. But I do also get a lot of benefit from like just writing and messy pages as well. Like sometimes just dumping thoughts and feelings on the page is a really good way for me to process things. Okay, so I just sketched out my little banana and blueberries and muffin. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna color that in. I don't know what colors I will use, so I'm gonna test them on some paper. So I ended up going with the lighter yellow color for the banana. I do like the lighter colors sometimes. I feel like they're just more forgiving if I mess up. They're also more gradual to like layer up when I want to make something darker. And they also allow me to still see the line art okay. But yeah, picking colors is hard. I don't necessarily feel like I know what I'm doing. I do love using markers though. They have definitely become one of my favorite mediums to play with. I really love the way they look on the Tomoe River paper. Like I really like how vibrant they are. And they're also just really convenient to like take out and use as opposed to like, I don't know, like paint or something like that. There's just more setup involved with something like that. So just the fact that they are convenient to take out means that I'm more likely to use them. I definitely feel like that little container has been helping me use some of my stationery supplies. And there might also be something to limiting like the amount of choices I have when picking out what I use. I think there are actually studies that show when people have fewer choices available, they are often more happy with their decision. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a thing. I will say though, it is a little less overwhelming when I'm only picking from what I have in my little pocket as opposed to like all of my stationery supplies. And I've also been thinking about making a quote unquote stationery store that I can go to. Like my full supply that is stored away would be my like not real but kind of store. That way when I'm bored of my current materials, I get the sensation of quote unquote shopping for something new by looking through all of the other supplies that I already have stored away that I haven't seen in a while and probably completely forgot about what was in there at all. And then I have a way to kind of like refresh my supply whenever I get bored without actually buying more stuff. I might also like literally decorate that storage container and go with the theme of it being like a stationery store. Whatever I have to do to basically market to myself, because I am very susceptible to marketing, so I might as well use it for good. Speaking of which, I actually finished a washi tape there, which I am both a little sad about because I did like that one, but also kind of happy because it's getting used. So I tried getting into reading last year and it didn't really stick. I never really managed to regularly fit it into my routine, so I am trying again this year. I have a few books I need to read right now, and one of them is due back this Friday, so I really need to get going on that. But right now, I have Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, and I waited a really long time for this book to be available, so I do really want to make sure that I actually finish it before it's due. So yeah, I gotta get going on that. So I decided to draw the book cover in here of Remarkably Bright Creatures, and yeah, I don't know, I really love the design on this book cover actually. I love the vibrant colors, and I just think it's a really pretty cover. But yeah, I really want to try getting into reading again this year. I definitely tried last year, but I am a little embarrassed to admit, though I started a few books, I didn't actually finish a book. Not a single one. So I'm trying again this year. It's one of those things that I'm always glad to have done when I do it, but for some reason it's difficult to make myself sit down and actually do it. Even though I enjoy it when I do, right? And I'm not really sure how to fix that. I've been trying audiobooks instead lately so that I can do something else while I quote unquote read, like draw, or I'd also like to learn to crochet this year. I don't know, just something else to keep me busy while I read. And I think that might work better for me. So I'm going to try that. I'd also like to make a reading journal this year so that I can look back at what I read, especially since I have a very poor memory. Like, I can see me forgetting some of the things that I read, so it would be nice to look back at those. Okay, so I tested a few different colors, and I think I know how I'm gonna color in this like little book cover drawing that I have here. I think I didn't want to pick anything too dark. Let's see. I'm already second guessing what I picked. I think so I was gonna pick this lighter blue here that's a little bit more greenish, and this like kind of like marigold orangey yellowy kind of color here. But now that I look at it, I'm thinking maybe I should actually pick this this other darker blue here. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine either way. It's still hard to pick. So let's see. Who am I even looking at? I think it's... Oh, is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go with the darker color. I think I'll go with the darker color. I have like no room on my desk. It's so tiny. Okay, I think that's fine. Hopefully you can see. Oh, I'm realizing now that I actually should have erased my pencil first. I kind of forgot to do that. It's okay. Also, I don't know if you can tell from the lighting in the camera, but the sun has decided to come out, which is very exciting. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I have for 3 years now, and I am learning that you do not see the sun in the winter, like, at all. And I possibly have a SAD, seasonal affective disorder, because holy cow, I can feel that, like... Also, I feel kind of like immediately better as soon as the sun comes out. So it's nice that it's out right now. it'll probably go away within like 15 to 20 minutes. It just makes a random surprise appearance occasionally and then disappears again. Yeah. Also, getting vitamin D is really difficult and has been kind of a struggle. Okay, that's not so bad. One more note on the sun. It is literally getting to the point where I am taking pictures of the sky when it is blue. That's how excited I get. I'd also like to point out that this is definitely more than I normally do most days. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because I'm filming it, so I'm like setting aside more time to do it, to fill it out. But yeah, this is significantly more like time and energy than I normally put into like filling out this page. I think for a while I was sort of like pressuring myself for some reason to put this kind of time and energy into filling out my journal every day. I think that's part of the reason that I got burnt out on it, actually. So yeah, just throwing it out there that this is really not how much I normally do. This is yeah, this is a bit more. It is fun to look back at these pages though, so I don't mind doing it every once in a while. But if I were to try and do this every day, I would definitely get burnt out. In fact, I did get burnt out when I tried to do something like this every day. It was just too much. I think I need to also probably use like more stickers and photos, and that would also make it a little bit easier to fill out rather than trying to draw everything. Though I do like the drawing practice, but yeah, like I said, it's just too much to do all of that every day. And then my perfectionism starts to go a little crazy, and I start getting upset when pages don't look good or pages don't turn out, and then it's just a whole mess. And it kind of ruins the whole relaxing, fun vibes of just casually journaling. So, where was I going with this? I don't know. My point is, this is more than I normally do, or that I like really need to do. Okay, so I think the octopus is going to be this sort of like orange color, like it is in the book cover. And then I also need to do these plants here. And yeah, that'll be it. Hopefully this is dried enough so that I can do this. I think it'll be okay. And I just need to do the person here, and then I think what looks like seaweed behind it. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see. So in the cover, that seaweed is actually darker, so I might go ahead and do that here too. And then, yeah. Okay, this may be a mistake. Is this dark enough? I can go over it twice. I think it'll be fine. I'm just gonna use the same green that I have down here so I can keep the color palette from getting too big. As if I know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But I am gonna use the same kind of like greenish blue for the rest of the seaweed. I kind of wish I put more seaweed in here. Okay. Let's see. I don't remember what color the person is, so I'm gonna reference that. Okay, so their hair is actually kind of a lighter color. Oh, and their shirt is yellow. Okay, that works. I'll do the hair this color, and I'll make the shirt yellow. Also, I am so sorry if you can hear that. Tuesday is the day that like the lawn maintenance people come, and yeah, they're working right now. So hopefully that's not too distracting. Cool. I think I'm just gonna do the face this like yellow as well. Okay. And it's done. I just want to do a border around it, and then I am done. What color do I want the border to be? Let's see. Maybe just this brown color here. I might actually just be kind of boring and just do this tan brown color. I think I'll be fine. So I'm being kind of sloppy. That's okay. Okay, cool. All right, so that is done. That is, oh, I forgot. I actually still need to do, where did you go? I forgot the color of the sticker on my banana. And I picked out a color that I wanted to use, and now I have lost that color. Where did I put that? The heck did I put that? Did I put it back away? I probably put it back away. I'm guessing it's this color. Yeah, it's that color. Okay. I may regret this, but I'm going to use this red. Alright, I'm just gonna color in this little banana sticker here. Because I really want a pop of red in here. Okay, I like that. I really wish I had a lighter, like more desaturated version of this, and I don't. So I think we're just gonna make do with what we have. Now it's a little bit darker and more saturated than I want it to be, but that's okay. Okay, cool. Banana's done. All right, I think I'm gonna add some like, just like kind of texture to this little accent bit over here. Sometimes I just like to put little dots in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Wonder if you can see. Hopefully you can see. I'll hold my hand like this. I like it because it sort of reminds me of like printed things, like in the newspaper and stuff. And I think it's a fun texture. So I start with the dots closer together, and then I kind of just spread them out a little bit to make it like it sort of fades. There. I kind of want to add more like, I don't know, just like textural kind of things. Like I really am tempted to put like some dashed lines around here. We're just gonna go for it because at the end of the day, it's just a journal page, right? Okay. I'm okay with that. So I actually have 2 books checked out right now, and I haven't started Remarkably Bright Creatures, but I have been reading How to Keep House While Drowning by Casey Davis, and it's really good so far. I'm actually almost finished with it. I got this as an audiobook too, so I've been listening to it the past few days, and I really like it so far. So when I first started reading this book, I was so close to putting it down when like the first sentence in the book is like, "This is a book about cleaning." And I was like, "Oh no, that sounds so boring. I don't think I could read this." But then the book goes on, and within like the first, I don't know, like 5 minutes of listening to this, I was like quite literally on the verge of tears. And the author somehow knew this. They were like, "If you're on the verge of tears right now, this book is for you." And I was like, "Oh, this is a good book for me." Anyway, after that initial impression, I've been really enjoying this book, and I highly recommend it. The book is in fact about cleaning and organizing. However, it takes a different approach to it. It talks about how not being perfectly clean and organized all the time should not be considered a moral failing. And it emphasizes the importance of making accommodations and providing support instead of like shame and guilt for not living up to some like unrealistic standard. And I feel like this mentality maybe has applications even beyond just house and self-care maintenance things. For example, I've been struggling to fit in exercise and physical activity, and after a really long time of trying and failing, it might be a good idea for me to reframe those thoughts about that, and to remind myself that not making it to the gym and not exercising is not a moral failing, but instead maybe I need to make it easier for myself to get some form of activity, because at the end of the day, it is like an act of self-care. I'm just gonna use a lighter blue here. I might actually use this one, maybe? I might actually use this one instead. Or this one. Probably that one. I'll probably just use that one. Okay. Real question is, did I allow enough time for this to dry, or did I get impatient? Nope, it's dry. Also, maybe don't forget to erase the pencil marks this time. Alright. And we draw. Or color, rather. I just want to go over some of these spots and make them a little bit darker blue, just to try and make this look like a little bit more, I don't know, interesting, I guess. Alright, that's probably good enough. Yeah. And then maybe I actually want to color in this part up here a little bit too. Sure. Just lightly color in the top. Okay, maybe like a little bit more over here. I really love working with markers, especially on this paper. I just like the way that you can like kind of layer them to make things darker. Especially when I have a hard time like picking out colors, I feel like it makes it slightly easier for me, because I know that for shading, all I have to do is like just add layers to like the marker, and it'll look like kind of okay at least. Yeah. But yeah, markers have become like one of my favorite mediums to work with. Cool. Okay, that's not so bad. Just need to write the title. Oh, and let's give it a star rating. So I was going to immediately say yes, 5 out of 5 stars for this book, but I don't know if it's quite a 5 out of 5 star. It may be a 4 or a 4.5. I'll give it a 4.5. It's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. All right, and that is done. I want to add a little sticky next to it. I'm running out of my stickers here, unfortunately. I will have to get some more, or I've been thinking about trying to actually just make my own. I might do that instead. So in that case, I will use one of these. I think I'll just use this one. I think that'll be fine. Okay. There. That's nice. Alright, I think, I want to make like a little border here. So I'm going to do that. Whoop. And this is why I love waterproof ink, because I can always like highlight and mark things after I've written them down, rather than needing to like put the color on before and then write over it. Yeah, I really love waterproof ink. I'm still like on the lookout for more different kinds of waterproof ink. Right now I'm just using the like carbon black ink, which is really nice, but I would like to find some more. I wouldn't mind maybe some like more interesting colors that are also waterproof, though I don't know if that's necessary, because am I really gonna put a color over a colored ink as well? I don't know. But I do like this ink. This is what I've been using so far, and it's nice. And then I kind of just added a highlight to what I wrote down last night. I sort of sloppily wrote down like a little note last night, just because I didn't want to forget it. I had been reading the book How to Keep House While Drowning, and it kind of left off at a spot where I was like, oh, I should write that down, because that's a really good point and I will forget it if I don't write it down. So they were talking about in the book that you should quote unquote drop the plastic balls and keep the glass balls. And to give some context, they were talking about how life and managing everything in life can feel a lot like juggling. And it can be helpful if you can recognize that some of the balls that you're juggling are made of glass and you cannot drop them, and others are made of plastic and can be dropped. And I feel like sometimes I have a really hard time identifying what balls are glass and what balls are plastic. Sometimes I can get very fixated on and put a lot of importance on what is ultimately a plastic ball that I don't need to worry about that much. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then just under that, I wrote like, what are my glass balls? Like maybe I should take some time to think about that and really identify for myself like what those things are in my life. Yeah, so I do want to journal about that a little bit more. It's probably going to happen on this page because I decided to fill this page up with other doodles, but I'll just go ahead and write about that over here. And honestly, this page might just be a full page of writing, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, so that's what that is. And I just like highlighted it to make it look a little prettier since it truly was just like right before bed. I was like, just grab the pen, scribble it in, and leave it for tomorrow. That was about it. I messed up. I really, really often, my hand just starts writing the wrong letter. It's not that I don't know how to spell the word. Half the time, my hand just has other ideas, and or my brain just like disconnects or malfunctions. I don't know what's happening, but it happens a lot. It's a little frustrating, but it's okay. Okay, Casey Davis. Yeah, excellent book. Really, really enjoying this book. Okay, I know this video was kind of long and kind of rambly, but hopefully it provided some nice company while you journal or just hang out. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.